The age of addiction, guys. What do you think? Is in this new millennia the age of addictions, or was it always the case? And we just getting to, more aware of of the fact that people are addicted to vices. That's for everyone to decide. But we have also some opinions from this guy. Let's hear him out.
Addictions have always been a thing in this world, and it's inevitable people get them. Each generation has had a different set of ones affect them more compared to the next. Boomers were more addicted to cigarettes and alcohol, being the victim of
I don't know. I could say that everybody is addicted to cigarettes and alcohol, even on Gen Z. It's the one vice that everybody spams because it's a legal one. Now I've lived in Netherlands and they're doing a great job out there because they are banning cigarettes from being sold on normal supermarkets, which usually decreases the incentive of people smoking cigarettes. So that's great in my opinion. Like cigarettes are really really no good, and they should do the same for alcohol as well. And I am aware that alcohol is also very hard to get by there. Like you can get beer, yes. The harder alcohol, you need to go to specific places which are hard to come by there as well. So there are certain places that have regulations for this, but here in Romania though, can do whatever.
the tobacco industry and having them pay off doctors to say things like this.
You know, this night work's kind of rough, isn't it? That's right. But a camel's always a pleasure.
Yes, folks, the pleasing mildness of a camel is just as enjoyable to a doctor as it is to you or me.
But heck,
Back in the days when, people didn't know exactly about the outcome of smoking cigarettes, they could have done this, but they have been long since regulated, obviously, because everybody knows they fuck your lungs.
hey, it's all good. They made it for that stress by beating their millennial children for asking them to get a toy. Millennials
Look, vices are a necessity. The older you get, you will see a trend. The older you get, the more vices you have, or the vices you already have, you will interact at a higher degree. Because I would say the correlation between going into vices harder and harder has to do with the level of stress you have to deal with on a daily basis. So the older you get, the more responsibilities you get, which leads to more stress for you to perform, because if you don't, you get fucked. So that leads you to do more and more, interact with more and more vices the more so you go, so it can kind of counterbalance the amount of stress you have. Issue is vices usually do not counter the stress, they just delay it for later on. That's the problem with them.
and Gen X are more addicted to alcohol and prescription drugs.
Alcohol is horrendous, bro. How can you be whatever.
And also posting the most
To each their own.
cringe content you'll ever see on TikTok.
That's whatever.
I guess that's what happens when you were the victim of the generation that would beat you just because.
Hey, if you're making money out of that, it is what it is. Hey, back in the day, we had in our village or whatever, semi town, a guy that will go into your toilet and collect all the shit. What about those guys? They will get their hands full of shit. I'm just saying. It's a job at the end of the day.
You know what? If they're having fun on their side of the internet, I'm happy for them. And of course, we end up with the dump of all that, which is Gen Z. But I think we're kind of different because before you had to do a little more searching in the past generations to get that addiction. You know, like have the money to buy a cigarette or alcohol. But now, because of the digital age, it's made it almost impossible for Gen Z to not have an addiction. The amount of people in Gen Z who just have an addiction casually.
I'm sorry, go ahead and show me people that don't have an addiction, period. Everybody got an addiction. I would disagree. Millennials or whatever, Gen Z, yes, also have an addiction. Addiction being obviously technology because they're born with that shit in their eyes, pupils being constantly bombarded by information and cool shit and dopamine. But that doesn't change the fact that we, the older gens, also had a bunch of vices, but the caveat is that they were of other types than technology based. Wow, What a big diff.
we act like it's normal is
I can quit whenever MF's 1 femtosecond no fet-
kinda insane.
Oh no.
We were the first test group of the internet's effect on a younger generation, and now that everyone's on the internet 24/7, like 90% of people have an addiction
because of the internet.
So I want to talk about all the ones that are getting pushed and more amplified with us, I would say. And we could start off with food. Okay, food didn't start with us, and Gen Z isn't even the fattest generation. But because
Exactly.
of online ads and social media ads, it's very easy to push. We haven't even paid attention to the thought of how many food delivery apps we have.
So he's saying because it's more convenient to get food with food delivery, people are more incentivized, to get this type of food, which is usually fast food, which leads to higher obesity levels. But as he mentioned previously, Gen Z is not even the biggest generation of fat people, obese people, because you could say the same rhyme of phrase is that basically, yes, you have access to this, but you also has a plethora of access to YouTube vids, TikToks, shorts that make fun of obese people, and you see that and you say, I don't want to be that. And you also see a bunch of TikToks and YouTubes about guru influencers about how to be a man, and all of them will tell you the same. And there's a bunch of young men that will go for that advice, especially when they're, insecure and young. About going to the gym and making squats or whatever the fuck.
Bro, growing up, I remember the most you could deliver to your house was a pizza. It would be late night, and if you
Pizza delivery was, man, I miss that. Most of the pizza restaurants that used to deliver, they're not on the apps and they're more expensive as a result. It's so stupid.
were craving something and didn't want to drive to an actual physical location, your ass had to order some Domino's or Papa John's. I know it had to suck working at one of those places back then though, because the amount of prank calls that would go viral on YouTube of people just trolling them was astronomical. Like this channel Ownage Pranks used to go A1 back in the day. Bro would spout the most stereotypical racist accent to a worker and ruin their day. And you don't even need the delivery apps anymore. If you just download the fast food apps, they get it delivered for you. You know, you got your Chick-fil-A's and McDonald's, Taco Bell.
Chick-fil-A, everybody says is the good, but is the goat.
Food.
Put in the comment which is the goat for you. For me, I haven't tried Chick-fil-A, keep that in mind. McDonald's. You can hate on me, I still love McDonald's. Fuck you.
Chipotle, wait, what? Yeah, believe it or not, that was a real delivery service app until
Oh, no way, they had the N-word food delivery app. That's stupid as hell.
but got taken down. I wonder how such a family-friendly thing could violate Apple's terms of service. And if you download one of these food apps, you can save like half your costs by using them. They make it easier than ever to get big backed.
Ooh, let's go, Garfield.
Because they'll give you the best deals ever that for some reason they don't offer if you don't order on the app. And quarantine at my biggest backers, I was trapping off that McDonald's app getting a free large fry with a $1 purchase. You got with 2 million McDonald's points who
Let's go, the points. I used to also order this chicken biryani from this Indian restaurant, and if you had 5 like deliveries done, the 6th one they will give you like a 90% discount. That was awesome.
order basically every day for the past 4 years. At that point, do you get to meet Ronald
Every day is a bit too much.
McDonald or something? Because that has to deserve some type of reward. TikTok got to be the biggest influence for food nowadays though. Because how many times have you seen a food spot on TikTok and it's near you? And you think to yourself, well, damn, now I gotta try it to see what the hype is. With traveling nowadays, everyone's go-to when looking for food is going to TikTok to see what the people are saying is the best. I always think how insane Keith Lee's come up was, and it shows how big backed we really are. Because he quite literally will go to a food spot, give a review, and all it takes is a God damn, that's good. And the whole restaurant is fully booked up for the rest of the year. That's not a diss either, by the way, you know what I'm saying? We F with Keith Lee over here. And then you got those mukbang videos that became popular where they're eating gargantuan
Yeah, no, eating food content is very, very popular because it's, I don't know. It feels like, especially when you eating your own food, you put one of these people to play on the side and they're like, it's like a family event. They're eating alongside you.
masses of food. I learned that some people watch these because they want to feel like they're literally eating the food, but their stomach can't take it, so they watch someone else do it. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them. I just get sick and want to yak out a car window after looking at these. If you eating like this, you dead ass abusing your stomach wall lining.
Hey, don't make fun of that guy. That guy is not a mukbanger. He's a professional eater, okay? He's going to events like, you know...
Next, we got vaping. For all the people who watch
Vaping. Hey, people complain about vaping, but you should compare it to with the same group of vices it's part of, which is cigarettes. Compare cigarettes to vaping. I'm sorry, cigarettes are on another level.
me and vape, I just want to let you know you're bigger than the vape. So do me a favor and put it down for your health now and your future. And pick up a cigarette like a real. I always find
Sure, see.
it so insane that our generation was bombarded with PSAs about smoking and the harmful effects of it. Everyone ended up thinking we
Do you know who does those PSAs, by the way? Who is investing in doing those PSAs? The cigarettes companies. Oh, wow. Who would have thought they would do this against their competitors?
wouldn't be affected by it as much and be a much more healthy generation. Until they release flavors with the name Mango Cherry Freeze and Fortnite carts that no one knows the origin
Oh, fuck that bullshit. The sludge, slurps juice, vape. Oh,
enough to
fuck.
change minds instantly. I knew our generation was going to be the most addicted to it when I would walk in the school bathroom and casually see two in a stall with clouds of smoke coming out of it. And you
Better than people, bro. In my school, high school, we would go to, you know, the base of operation in every high school, I would say, is the bathrooms, right? And we would gather there, like 10, 20 dudes, and everybody would be smoking ciggies there. And then every now and then the bodyguard will come and will check on us, and sometimes he catches some people, and then he never did something because you just be friends with him and say, hey, Mr. Bodyguard, please don't do that. And he's like, okay, just leave. And that's pretty much it.
have some dude on lookout paying attention to the sound of the jingling of keys to tell if a staff member was around or not. Then they start fumbling around and waving the smoke around to try to hide it. I didn't even know how bad it was at first though, until I found out kids in elementary school are doing it too.
Oh, elementary school, let's go. Yeah, this reminds me of a story because I have a sister and she was in elementary school. Guys, you think this is bad? Imagine my sister at 7th grade, I think, being social pressure to smoke cigarettes. I think it was 7th or 5th grade, somewhere in between those two, this range, being pressured to smoke a cig because if she wouldn't be part of the popular kids group. Like, this is the type of bullshit we're dealing with. But he's complaining about Gen Zs. Oh man, you should see. Oh no, I'm sorry.
As a kid in elementary school, where the f are you getting the money to even afford that? Are you selling your rare Fortnite skins or something, then ordering them on eBay? According to statistics, 3.5% of middle schoolers in America vape as well. Low key, we gotta bring back those scary anti-smoking ads. Because I remember when I was a kid being terrified of the thought of smoking. They would show the diagram of a healthy lung versus smoker lung, and I would have nightmares for the rest of the week.
Exactly.
And no, you can't quit at any time. If you're somebody that has to sit there and reason with your friends like you're making a deal on Wall Street that you can, then let me introduce you to the last stage of grief, acceptance. It's okay to accept the fact that the rest of your friends are gonna live amazing, willing, full lives until 80, 90, or 100. And at 40, you're gonna drop randomly in your kitchen after those mango cherry freeze chemicals reach your heart. And weed smokers,
vape, come on. Ciggies will kill you then at 30.
Where y'all going? Cause y'all ain't safe from this either. In general, I think out of a weed smoker and vape smoker, the weed smoker is usually more healthy. Mainly because the product doesn't have mysterious chemicals imported from a factory in Beijing.
Depends where you're taking it from.
Nowadays, though, they be lacing the hell out of that weed, so I don't even know about that anymore. You could be picking up what you think is some regulars off from your local dealer, and it ends up being laced with
Fent. Can you imagine that?
And pee. The most annoying thing about weed smokers is they do the same thing as vape smokers, saying they can quit at any time, but they'll also argue with you saying it makes them more productive, and they'll bring up successful people that do it as an example.
No, you just gotta go ahead and say it, bro. I smoke weed because I'm bored. I do it because I'm bored. That's the reason people smoke weed, because they're bored. That's why I used to do it when I was back in Netherlands. I used to do it because I'm bored. The weekend is coming, nothing is going on. I'm just gonna smoke a quick puff, a quick ganja, and then at least I don't get bothered by my mind for a few hours while I'm high. You know
Like, I don't know, Snoop
about how boring everything is going around me, right?
Dogg or Wiz Khalifa.
Problem solved.
The person said
Productivity though, bro. If you telling me that weed is making you productive, you are tripping. This is the weed. The only issue with weed is that it fucks your productivity. Not for 1 day, for 3 days, because you'll be very tired. You'll feel tired.
saying it though, 99% of the time is never productive. Like, you ask them what they did through the week, and it's take a shower once, rage on Valorant, goon to Sophie Rain, then smoke 7 times. If you're not one of those productive people using it, then you can't say it. And you'll also never be as productive as someone sober in that time. It's so bad, you got who will work the whole week, then half of their paycheck is going to some rolling papers and that flight duck pack. I think the reason why the rise of addictions and smoking weed is because it's so easy to access nowadays. They got whole apps meant to deliver strains to people, and you can go on Snapchat and casually see 10 dealers in a 1-mile radius. Back
Yeah, no, the apps, they're helping.
then, people were
I think that they should just legalize everywhere weed. I'm sorry, it's a joke of this is not drug. Like, if you compare weed to alcohol, I would say that weed wins every fucking time of the day. It's not even close. So why the hell alcohol is legal and weed not? I'm just saying.
scared of getting caught, especially when the internet wasn't a thing. Plus, it was a lot more penalized, so people didn't take the risk. Next, we got gooning. I already made a whole video on this.
Gooning. Who is aware of what gooning is, guys? So for you who don't know, I'm just gonna go into it. It's gonna sound a bit weird. It's a masturbation session that could last for hours on end. Hours.
So we don't gotta spend a lot of time on this. But the algorithms nowadays, more than ever, are meant to fuel horniness. Like, have y'all ever opened your Instagram feed or TikTok feed and they're literally throwing it in your face? No matter how many times I click not interested,
Yeah, guys, what about the ads that, that make your dick bigger? Hey, what about those?
it doesn't work. I think they have the button there just for fun. The best platform I see optimized where I don't see it is YouTube, because my algo was built brick by brick. It still happens though, trust me. Like, somebody watching this probably got some freaky AI chatbot ad. But on Instagram and TikTok, they purposely don't listen to me. I just want one person to do some research on these algorithms and see if they got a horny piece of code written in there. A lot of people also talk about why were we so sexual at a young age, which is kind of true, when I think of
I mean, the young generations are basically the most in tune with technology, and one of the most searched up, topics on internet, for example. What do you guys think it is? It's porn, obviously. So if you are a curious little gremlin, obviously you're gonna go online, right? And search up what is going on. And this is how you get introduced at a very young age on this naughty behavior. Back in the days, though, you wouldn't have that much access to it. Now, though, one click away.
about it. It's a mix of things. One being the internet, although it's not as bad as now. Like, a Gen Alpha kid with unmonitored access in 2025 is probably gonna win this corn at the age of 7. Probably a mix of us looking at these Disney stars when we were kids and thinking of some freaky The crazy
Yeah, let's go. Es Elsa, let's go.
thing to me was the shift of how OF stars and corn stars were perceived. Back then, I remember when a girl got leaked, it was the worst thing to happen to her life. Like, her whole sacred temple was exposed to the world. Or just somebody ousted as doing that line of work. They would never want that info out. But nowadays, if you see a link tree in that bio, it's like a Russian roulette of if you'll see a OnlyFans link or not. It's just a casual thing now to see.
No, of course, because once bunch of money is being added to the mix, and the way the system works for OnlyFans creators is to market themselves first so they can get a large audience looking at them, so they can get a bunch of subscriptions, so they can get a lot of money as a result. Obviously, knowing about their content is necessary.
Someone naked online. Never in my life growing up I would think someone I went to high school with would start one, but I'm about 0 to 3 wrong, so good thing I didn't put a bet on that. Oh, and speaking of bets, gambling is next. Parlays have by themselves
Let's go gambling! Parlay time. Yeah, yo, guys, I'm gonna put $5 and get 11,000.
Ruin the financial
Turning it 10 into 11 on underdog. Let's go, and he loses. Did he win? Oh man, he got
millions of Gen Z. Because with parlays, it feels like you're not
parlay
putting much out. And if you
time.
already hate your job or you're trying to make it out, you're gonna take the risk and throw in something you can lose, like $10
The issue is you're not gonna win. They're made for you to lose.
or $20. But that ends up adding up, and as you keep losing, you end up losing like half your week's salary over some stupid ass prediction. My opinion is sports gambling is
Yeah, parlays are like death by 1,000 cuts. You don't die immediately, but slowly and surely your finance will dwindle.
way more of a problem for us than traditional gambling. Like, I feel like that was the problem more back then. Although we definitely got our addicts for that too. Kick as a platform is pretty much meant as a funnel to stake where you can play slots to your heart's desire.
And you have Aiden Ross. Hey, who doesn't love Aiden Ross promoting some gambling to young ones? Young blood. You want some luck, some happiness in your life? You should gamble.
Sports betting wouldn't even be that bad if everyone doing it actually had the disposable income too. But there should be no reason your whole paycheck is going on a bet. And it's really hard to stop because when you do get those wins, you always think you could get one potentially with another bet. And I don't know about y'all, but I've been getting a whole lot more of sports betting app ads a lot. It makes no sense too because I live in Texas. I can't even gamble here. So why are they even pushing it here when it's banned? Like, it makes zero sense to me. It's almost like they know people can use VPNs to do it anyways. And they be giving some crazy ass bonuses just for you to join and make a single bet. Like,
obviously, so they can get you hooked. And they say this is an issue nowadays. Maybe in America, because they legalized it, I guess, 6 to 8 years ago. I'm not exactly sure at what year, but they hadn't had it legal for a while. Meanwhile, here in Romania, it's always been legal. And you will see something very odd here. The most, like, on every street, you will see the following. A church, number 1, a pharmacy, number 2, and a gambling casino. And a gambling casino. Those are the 3 things that are on every street. Like, they copy pasta every street to have these 3 things. It's crazy.
Wouldn't take a free $100 to bet for just a tiny risk of forever being indebted to the app and watching every single one of the 500 bets you made in the past week. Just a tiny risk though. The sports betting industry growth is so insane when you look at the chart.
The industry, it basically, when you can, if you wanna get money, let's just put it that way. If you wanna make money, the best way to do so is to abuse stupid people, basically. And gambling is literally that on steroids, right? So look at how much money you're making off the asses of idiots. And there's so many idiots out there that you can take advantage of them over and over and over and over and over again.
7 years ago, it was only $209 million, and now it's around $4 to $6 billion. If this ain't an indication of a recession, then I don't know what is. People's doing anything to get money. I guarantee there's some dads out there risking their paycheck and if their kids get to eat, just to see if the bet will hit of LeBron getting over 40 points in a game.
Let's go, LeBron.
And it's time.
Oh yeah, the monster drinkers. Bro, everybody, like even back then, bro, everybody would start going to school or high school with a Burn energy drink. Burn energy drink? Do you guys have Burn energy drink? Pfft, that's some secondhand bullshit ass.
I'm gonna be open and honest, y'all. This is probably the thing I match closest with. My excuse is, though, I only take pre-workout on days I work out, which is 5 days in a week. Not really a good excuse, though, but trust me, I can quit anytime. I just need a little powder sprinkled in my toothpaste to get my bones jolting. Caffeine addiction is probably the easiest one to get because when you're tired in a day and need a little boost, it's one of the few legal substances you can take.
Thankfully, I have no issues with caffeine addiction. I hate the feeling it gives me. It makes my heart pump really, really fast, and I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack, so I'm not gonna engage with that.
To boost your energy. Sadly, they banned the original Coke formula, but I've heard there's ways to get around it. It also doesn't help that on TikTok, people will post their favorite coffee recipes or drink they got at Starbucks. Then people run to the store to get the exact same one to see what the hype is about. Everybody all of a sudden also started drinking matcha and making matcha everything. Matcha coffees, matcha pancakes, matcha noodles. A couple of years ago, would have seen something like this and fried you on the internet for even having it. But
Yeah, that's disgusting.
now all you gotta do is post the trying matcha noodles on TikTok and people will love it just because it's matcha. Where the
No, because they love seeing you try whatever the fuck.
did all this matcha talk come from though? Like matcha is cool to me, but how did they get to the point where we're facing potential global shortages of it because everyone's having it? Also, having energy drinks is more commonplace now. Like I remember in the past, if you told someone you was drinking energy drinks, they thought you were cooked, providing.
No. It was popular even back then. Like I remember in high school, like you start your day off with an energy drink. Even in mid school, you would do so. It's the same.
For 4 different families on a one-man salary while getting 4 hours of sleep. Every company now, for some reason, has their own line of energy drinks. Like, who is deadass drinking the toxic waste energy drink and the Sonic the Hedgehog
Sonic the Hedgehog, bro. Come on, man.
energy drink? Actually, that last one might not be too bad. Might just have me a grab it. I think caffeine addiction is also rising too because a lot more people are sleep deprived nowadays. It's a blessing for real if you can get 8 full hours of sleep in this time. So when people are tired, they say, why not? Let me just get 1 energy drink for the day. There is a very big risk with it though, and we can't forget. Energy drinks have only been getting used a lot more in the past 2 decades, so we still don't have long-term studies on their effects. And there's even tragic cases about it, like the case of Katie Donnell. Katie Donnell was a 28-year-old teacher and fitness enthusiast, and she always tried to live a healthy lifestyle and had a lot of caffeine through the day as one of the things. She would have 3 energy drinks a day and a caffeine supplement on top of that
Trick. Oh, no, that's no bueno.
before going to the gym. And by the way, the recommended max amount of caffeine you're supposed to have in a day is 400 milligrams. Depending on how much caffeine those drinks had, she could have been having like 2x or 3x the daily limit. But even if they were smaller amounts, I think we can all agree that just the sound of having 3 energy drinks a day is insane. And in 2021, Katie had a heart attack and had to be put in the hospital, where 10 days later, she sadly passed away from the effects of it. So if you're near having 3 drinks a day,
That was stupid. That was so stupid, I swear.
It might be
that was ridiculous. Why are you doing this to yourself? What the fuck is wrong with you?
time to reconsider how many you're having. The best schedule for people that
Just don't take that much. Come on, it's not that hard.
you want to have caffeine is 5 days a week with at least 2 days off it. The more you have it, the more tolerant you get to it. So it's always better to have a
And once you get more tolerant, you need to drink more. That's the issue.
little reset just so the effects still hit. It's also a problem too that kids are now starting to have energy drinks. When Prime released its energy drink,
Oh yeah, Prime Prime during its prime, haha. But it's kind of fallen off. Don't worry about it.
there was parents complaining that their kids were having them and it was causing problems. I don't know what type of stress these is even going through to be having energy drinks. I only started drinking them after having some adult type responsibilities. Before 18, I wasn't having them. And once again, parents strike again at not monitoring their kids, because how do they even get access to these energy drinks? Since I said I only have them when I work out, we might as well throw gym in there as an addiction. Some of
Gym addiction. It's a healthy one, no?
y'all might think it's odd that gym is here, but if you see how fitness social media is now, you know how bad it can get. There's
Obviously, people will be pushing you to do that, but you can argue that compared to cigarettes or alcohol, I don't know. You don't have to spend 3-5 hours. That's ridiculous and stupid. But doing 1 hour a day, that's no biggie.
been a lot more of a rise in gym influencers since 2020. I'm glad the gym is becoming way more popular though, because in general it's good for everyone's health. But the lengths some people take to look like some of the influencers online
That's not okay. You know for sure that they don't just go to the gym to look like that.
and is unbelievable. It's universally
Nah, fuck that. I don't want to see any
known
those.
now that a lot of
Please,
influencers
please,
online
please get
straight
it
up
out of my
use
sight.
performance enhancing drugs to look the best. One of the biggest known cases
Okay.
I would say is The Rock. Everyone knows for his physique at his age, it's almost impossible for him to look like this without taking some type of performance enhancing drug. He always denies it and says he doesn't use them, which no one believes. Because when your job is to look the best, a lot of these influencers and celebs feel like they have no choice but to take them to keep up with everyone. And people in the gym community point out all the time who may be fake or real. One of the biggest gym influencers
What
on
the
YouTube's
fuck?
job is literally predicting from years of experience what influencer or celeb transformation is real real or fake. But even if the influencers doing it are natural, it's never good to compare yourself because their entire job is meant to look good. Like, they can spend hours at a time in the gym every day to look like that. Meanwhile, the average person usually gets out of school or work and can have 1 or 2 hours max. And it leads to people thinking
Exactly. No, not everybody can have free time of 10 hours a day.
they have to take the same drugs those influencers are taking. Nowadays, there's people who will show their journey through taking steroids or testosterone casually. I guess it's kinda good they're being honest, but like, can you imagine people did this for any other drug? Imagine a meth addict showing their journey of taking it through the years. And the people taking these drugs are getting younger
Look at this guy.
and
What
younger
are-
because
what
they
am I
look
looking-
up to these guys, ruining their whole body before it even got time to fully develop. It's okay to accept the fact that you probably won't reach their level, and if you do, it'll just take you significantly longer, which is fine. Like, bro, you got decades of your life to reach that type of build if you want to. You don't gotta rush it when you're young. And the
Also, why would you do that? It doesn't even look that good.
reality is, you probably won't even want to keep up with that type of physique because it'll be too much work. The last category
Also, it doesn't look good if you try too much. Like over muscles, like too many muscles. It looks like you're a goddamn abomination.
we got, which 90% of my audience will relate to, is unemployment. Everyone's getting into.
Why would this be a vice? This is not a vice. This is just a condition.
34? Okay, what do you do?
I am a risk taker. I'm a road runner. I'm an entrepreneur.
I mean, think of it. You can nibble off of someone else's work for free while laying down on a couch and watching your favorite TV show. Society's become so cooked that anyone who quits their job or anyone who's applied to more than 5 and got denied just give up and decide to live that lifestyle. You even mention the word job to certain and they start quivering in fear for their life.
I mean, working is shit. As a person that had, I don't know, 6, 7 type of jobs, I can confidently say that all of them had issues, at different types of issues, right? But the fact that my white turned, like, what am I saying? My hair turned white at an age like lower than 30 just goes to show that, you know, working is not as good as people say it might be. Yes, it obviously is required for survival, but the moment it is not, I would suggest everybody to just give it a rest.
You know what? I'm feeling pretty evil today. Let's go ahead and go on a TOS run to get me packed out of here real quick. And I do want to put a disclaimer. What you're about to hear may be disturbing. Job, employment, working, career, business,
Yeah, that's how I see those as well.
profession.
Oh no, what am I? Oh, this guy is gonna kill me with one of the
Operation.
operation.
I feel free being able to say what I want. I feel like the world is in the palm of my hand. For some reason, even though it feels like no one is getting a job now, we're actually reaching low levels of employment, well, at least compared to 2020. Moment of silence for all my who were looking for a job during COVID. Glad that wasn't me, because God knows where I would be right now. The thing that's doomed Gen Z is as soon as finally started to get their degrees and get ready for the real world, AI had to advance at levels we never thought possible.
You can still compete with that. Obviously, not more easier jobs, like graphic designers are kind of affected about it, so you gotta put that in the bag, but not at the rate, like, yeah, if you wanted to be a McDonald's employee once you graduate, great, your job is at risk, or a warehouse worker, oh, so sad. I'm sure that a lot of people wish that they would become those jobs in particular, right?
I have to make a video on just this alone. Man,
But in the future, obviously, we're gonna get cooked. Like in 20 years from now, software development, YouTube content creation, everything is gonna be AI.
all thought AI would take jobs like fast food and have robots flipping burgers, but that's it. Now you got AI that can code entire websites for free. You got AI that automatically run YouTube channels and generate them unlimited money. And for us, it was a big rush of people getting STEM degrees because everyone was saying that was the speed run to get a 6-figure job. It's great to know that all those degrees are completely useless now that those jobs are taken by AI. So no wonder everyone's giving up and are embracing their unemployment. And when GTA 6 drops, mark my words, will quit their jobs just to have time to play this once-in-a-lifetime game. I'm truly scared.
Let's see if the hype is true. I think it's not, but hey, everybody has their own opinion. Okay, okay, chill, bro. GTA 6. Let's see. Let's wait and see.
For the job market in that moment. Hospitals are going to be empty from doctors and nurses trying to finish the GTA 6 storyline. So anyways, that's about it. If you don't align close to any of the things I mentioned, then congrats, you're one of the special ones. Follow
Yay, you're a boring person, basically.
me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
Yeah, no, so he's complaining about millennials having a bunch of vices and getting younger and younger into them. Now, all things considered, I feel like those same amount of vices were affecting the older generation as well. And yeah, there's not much of a change except for technology, I guess, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. The rest is like, yeah, people were addicted to caffeine. Yeah, people were addicted to, instead of cigarettes, vapings, you had cigarettes, so on and so forth. So humanity was always cooked on this regard. Except, take it with a grain of salt. That's my opinion. Okay, it is what it is.